14th, 2025. The time is 6:45 p.m. Liam, would you call the roll?
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member Cleister? Here. Member Stroya?
Here.
Member Warren?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Orr?
Here.
7 present.
Thank you. All right, at this time, we will begin the public comment portion of the agenda. Our first topic is ordinance 13, 2025. Liam, would you please read the title for the record?
An ordinance authorizing the vacation of a portion of Park Avenue Northeast from the south right-of-way of Howard Street Northeast and an adjoining portion of Whitworth Street Northeast to the west right-of-way of Taft Avenue Northeast within the corporate limits of the city of North Canton.
Okay, and as you can see on the map here, this came back from the planning commission with their approval. This is the vacation of that property. At this time, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of ordinance 13, 2025? Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition of 13, 2025? Okay. Last call. Okay, this will appear on tonight's City Council agenda. No, this will be on the. Yeah, it will be on. Yeah. Moving on, second topic is ordinance 19, 2025. Liam, would you please read the title for the record?
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of North Canton to reclassify one parcel in the city of North Canton in accordance with the amendment procedure set forth in chapter 1182 of the Planning and Zoning Code from its existing classification to park additional.
Okay, and as you can see, this is on the map here. This is the portion given to the school. This was given to us from Planning Commission with approval as well. Is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of ordinance 19, 2025? And is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition? Okay, final opportunity to talk either way. Small. Item will appear on tonight's agenda. Okay. Gonna make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So motion carries. Next meeting will start at 7. to the City Council meeting of April 14th, 2025. The time is 7 p.m. Opening prayer tonight will be delivered by Reverend Steve Burke from Trinity Baptist.
Please bow. God of all creation, of justice and mercy, I thank you on behalf of all who are gathered here tonight. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for our community and all who serve it. This evening, I pray for each person gathered here with the responsibility for doing good work. Give them a spirit of service. Remind them that they are stewards of your authority. Guide them to be the leadership people need to represent all members of the community fairly, to make decisions that promote the common good. Bless their efforts with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. Give each person clarity of mind, an open heart, creativity, compassion, due diligence, integrity, an attitude of grace, and a sense of humor. Help them act with character and conviction. Help them to discern your will and work to create a strong and healthy community. I pray for the agenda set before them today. Give an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in our city. Finally, Lord, renew them with the strength of your presence and joy of helping to build a worthy community. Grant them personal peace in their lives and joy in their tasks, confident in your goodness and love. I ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Leah, would you call the roll?
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member McLeister?
Here.
Member Stroya?
Here.
Member Warren? Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Orr?
Here.
7 present.
Okay, can I have a motion and a second to approve as presented, the minutes from the March 31st, 2025 City Council meeting, the bulk pebble lime procurement bid award, the bulk soda ash procurement bid award, and the Q1 2025 financial report.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so no one signed up for the first portion of public speaks. Moving on. Some core business. Lee, would you please read the title of ordinance 01/2025?
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of North Canton to reclassify one parcel in the city of North Canton in accordance with the amendment procedure set forth in chapter 1182 of the Planning and Zoning Code from its existing classification to Main Street North.
Okay, and this is Community and Economic Development. As you can see on the map, we've discussed this before. This would be moved over to general business. I don't think there's anything new on this. Any comments, questions?
That'll be Main Street North.
Oh, Main Street North. Yep, sorry. That's that. That's not new. I just mispronounced that. So I'm going to make a motion to adopt the 01/2025. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of 02/2025?
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of North Canton to reclassify one parcel in the city of North Canton in accordance with the amendment procedure set forth in chapter 1182 of the Planning and Zoning Code from its existing classification to general business B.
Okay. And if you draw your attention to the map, this is the Ellsworth property, and this would be classified to general business B. Again, nothing new here. Great business. We'd love to support them. Comments, questions from anybody? I'm going to make a motion to adopt the third reading of ordinance 2/2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Liam, would you please read the title of resolution 24/2025?
A resolution declaring city council support of state issue 2 concerning the renewal of the state capital improvement program on the May 6th, 2025 statewide ballot.
Okay, ordinance and rules.
So this is also a third reading, just supporting that state issue that allows money to come back to the city. Anything else you would add? I know we talked about it a bunch of times, but.
This is a great program that really benefits your city and doesn't cost you any new taxes.
That's an important point right there. Any other questions or comments? I'll make a motion to adopt the third reading of Resolution 24, 2025.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of Resolution 25, 2025?
A resolution in support of city administration's decision to prohibit parking on Orchard Avenue Northeast and Charlotte Street Northeast in front of the Diebold Nixdorf facility.
Okay,
We've heard from Diebold and we know about the safety concern. This is the third reading. There's nothing really to add to this, I believe. So I make a motion to adopt 25, 2025. I'll make the motion to do that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to new business. Liam, would you please read the title of Ordinance 13, 2025?
An ordinance authorizing the vacation of a portion of Park Avenue Northeast from the south right-of-way of Howard Street Northeast and an adjoining portion of Whitworth Street Northeast, to the west right-of-way of Taft Avenue Northeast, within the corporate limits of the city of North Canton.
All right, street now.
Okay, we heard from this last week, we vacated the half of it already, and this half needs to be vacated. There's three property owners. No,
This is the one behind the Hoover factory.
oh, excuse me, an ordinance authorizing vacation of Park Avenue. South right away of Howard Street. And adjoining a portion of Whitworth Street northeast to the west right away of Taft, and within the corporation limits of the city of North Canton. Is there any, you want to explain that a little bit?
It is a set of roadway parcels that serve one property owner. So it really, it's not in the best interest of the city to continue to maintain it. So we will be giving it to them. It'll go to Maple Street Commerce.
We've previously vacated 2 of the 3 blocks on the backside of the Hoover District, so this will be the last block.
And that owner is okay with it?
The owner chose not to sign the petition. Hence why we had a public hearing.
And we shouldn't be maintaining it. That for something we have no use of.
Well, I make a motion, we pass this first reading. Motion. Make a motion to pass the ordinance. Is it second? 13, 2025. First reading.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of Ordinance 19, 2025?
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of North Canton to reclassify one parcel in the city of North Canton in accordance with the amendment procedure set forth in chapter 1182 of the Planning and Zoning Code from its existing classification to park and institutional.
Okay, we just had a very contentious public hearing about that. As you can see on the map, nothing's changed since then, so any comments, questions? I'm going to make a motion to adopt the first reading of Ordinance 19, 2025.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Liam, would you please read the title of Ordinance 27, 2025?
An ordinance approving the continued operation of a designated outdoor refreshment area in the city of North Canton pursuant to section 4301.82 of the Ohio Revised Code and chapter 705.06 of the codified ordinances of the city of North Canton.
All right, this is the Dora, there is the map. Comments, questions? I'd like to continue it myself. Anyone else?
I will second, if you're looking for.
I'll make a motion to adopt first reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Liam, would you please read the title of Ordinance 28, 2025?
An ordinance authorizing the vacation of a portion of Ashland Street Southwest within the corporate limits of the city of North Canton.
All right, street now. John, here's the one you're talking.
Yeah.
we heard from Dean Ball and we've heard, we heard in the committee of the whole in the first reading. There's nothing to add to this. And, 3 property owners will be getting a share of this. So, I'll make a motion, to, for 2025. So an agenda, vote on the first reading of it. So.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, Liam, if you would read the preamble for the portion of public speaks.
At this time, members of the public who have signed up to address City Council will be called to do so. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes. Speakers shall be called in the order they signed up. During the session, comments shall be limited to items reasonably under the city's authority. The rules for speaking and the speaker's time will appear on the screens. After you have finished speaking, please remain at the podium to answer questions from officials of the dais. This will serve as the final warning for all speakers. Any violation of the rules will result in ejection from the premises.
Okay, we have 3 speakers for this evening. The first is Mr. Pat Patterson.
Hi, everybody. Pat Patterson, 1754 Chicago Falls. A couple things. Number one, I want to recap, we had a community walk last Sunday, and the weather was just dandy. We had 9 people show up. It rained and it winded, it was 35 degrees and it was mucky and wet. Ugh. But 9 people showed up. We had a good time of fellowship. Nice walk around, mainly the second, a little bit of the third wards. But I'm really pleased with how everything went. Those that came that are present, I appreciate it. We are doing another one, and we're going to continue doing them in the future every so often. The next one is the 29th of June, which is another Sunday morning, 8 a.m. This time we'll be meeting at the guardhouse on the square. So we'll start kind of jump around and maybe go to some different spots around the city to start, go from there. The other thing I want to talk about, kind of dovetailing to what Member Orr talked about at the last meeting, he brought up about cleaning the gutters out and the responsibility of those who live to keep the gutters clean and whatnot. Excellent suggestion, thank you. And it is their responsibility, but I want to dovetail on that a little bit. And I want to add grass clippings to that. Grass clippings, I mean, yeah, it's annoying and whatnot, but also creates an unsafe condition, especially for bicyclists, motorcyclists. When they get wet, I mean, it could be as bad as ice. So just to put that out there, if you mow and you don't bag, please keep it off the street, keep it out of the gutters, and then we'll clog the gutters as well, just the same as regular traction. So, with that, that's what I have on my mind today, and I'm prepared to be grilled.
All right, thank you.
Grill, baby.
Can we expect better weather on June 29th?
Well, I can almost promise it won't be 35 degrees, almost. Because you know what they say, it could snow anytime between now and the 4th of July, and of course, the next snowy season starts about the 5th of July. So if anything can happen, and it usually does. But, yeah. And it's gonna be warmer, I hope. But it's a program I'd really like to continue, and if I may, do I still have time? Yeah. Okay. Is there any way I can get something together, even like a small blurb, and get on the Facebook page or something to maybe drum up some support? Get maybe some more folks in?
Sure, we can arrange that.
Okay. Cool.
No, thank you for
I
doing
think it would be helpful, yeah. A certain little birdie kind of pointed that out and suggested that, and I think it's a brilliant suggestion.
I think with that though, Pat, we just have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because we could have anybody say, hey, can you put this out for this group,
Sure.
and we're
Right.
part of the city, and we
Yeah.
do this, and this activity, and we really want city business. We've been really careful to do that. It's like any nonprofit, like you don't give away your mailing list. And so you just do the big.
No, that's all right.
I know the rules.
What are you sorry for?
No, that's cool. I appreciate it. I usually.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring it to the table, but it'll be advertised if any, I know a lot of you are on the North Canton Positive News News, Facebook page. I'm the admin of it.
I saw a
It
couple
will
places.
be advertised. Yeah, it will be advertised there. So, and
Good point.
I know there's some other ones that speak freely, I'm sure. Might pitch in and say, hey, you know, and show up, first small.
John Fontaine.
Check the mail.
I'll share.
Absolutely, yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, next up, we've got Mr. Dominic Yes. Former council.
It says I.
Can I lower this a little? Honorable Mayor Wilder, council members, administration, and of course, police, fire, and EMS, chief, and all the people that work for the city. We appreciate everything you do. I was on your end for a while, in charge of streets and alleys. What brings me here today really is just to pitch a few things. And the gentleman that needs some promotion with this little thing, send me an email, I'll blast it out there with everything else I do. So one of the things I was thinking about is I did call John Orr about the streets and alleys, and mainly to the inside city spots where there's trees and debris. And I knew we had like 7 days of rain, so I was concerned about getting the debris cleaned up, because what happens is it goes down the gutters. I'm at the top of the hill, it doesn't affect me. I keep my gutters clean, right? But as it goes down through the drain, of course, people show up for the bigger room when they complain about their sewers backing up, because this is what happens. So it's a preventative maintenance. And then on top of it, it's very expensive for the street cleaners to be empty. So what frustrates me as a former council member in charge of streets and alleys is I see them going down Apple Grove in Maine, and it's just a little pea gravel versus the inside of the city. And so you have a routine that you're on. I think as council members, it's very important, especially for you, John. You're in charge of streets and alleys. Your job would be is to go around or communicate and find out what order it needs to be, and ask if the city street cleaners to be able to rearrange their schedule, because now it's down in the gutters, right? So that's a problem. So that was one of the things that I was really, even though I'm Ward 4, when I was Ward 4, I was streets and alleys, which is the whole city, right? And so just when you're passing throughout the day, you want to make sure you do that. And, if you remember when I was on council, and Kathy, you remember.
Oh, I can't forget.
Whenever I would send pictures, it's public then, and it causes anxiety. So if everybody just does their little piece, it makes it so much easier. So just take the dollars that we have, because we have something to talk about. We're trying to get some additional dollars, aren't we? So if we're real cognizant and smart about our money, which is the street cleaner, it costs a lot of money. Does anybody know how much it costs to dump one load?
Well,
Oh,
I
Kathy,
do,
go
by
ahead,
chance, it's $40 per ton, and we did about 180 tons last year, so that equates to over $7,000.
So think about this. So, okay, so we get a water bill every month. Why not put in the water bill consistently? Look, it's the responsibility of the homeowner. Be careful, be smart, but keep it clean. And the grass clippings or whatever it is you want to say, I would just pound it until it gets done, because that's going to save money, because now we have to raise the income tax after a million years, right? And so if we are smarter with our money, and that's really the job of the council members, is figure out how to be really efficient and use common sense and our good, smart entrepreneurial sense to save the city money. So now the second thing I want to touch on is passing the levy. So obviously, if it's necessary, I want to feel it's necessary so that I don't mind paying more money. So one of the things is, if I was a senior citizen, which I actually am, but I still work, so I pay 0.5% more. So let's say I made $100,000. So how much would that be? Anybody? No, off the top. So whatever that is in the accounting department, Matt. And then I'm saving two things on my itemized tax, which is what? Fire and EMS. Is that what it is? So older folks get that. So you have their vote, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to sign up yet, right? So what I was thinking is that I like to do videos that are common sense, down to earth videos. So I'd like to do it with the city mayor, a little video to kind of explain, okay, like if someone's working in the city and they make, say, $75,000 and their house is worth $250,000, what does that really look like? Is that like a coffee a day savings?
Is it really saving me money? So I think the older folks get, so they're not paying income tax necessarily, but they're saving money off their property taxes, which would just say in the last 2 years, our property taxes went through the roof because of the evaluations, because of COVID, pushed everything up 20%. And so my thinking is, folks, is as a former council member, I care about our city like you guys do. I really do. And I want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power. That means everybody pitching in. That means council members. It means the city people, people that have properties. I mean, I take care of my 100-foot of frontage. How about you? So I think the thing is we just use the water bill. We get the message out. Everybody echoes it. And then I think we do a couple of videos and maybe say, look, we're saving the city money. If you clean it up, that's $7, $8, $10,000. We could patch a few streets of holes. And there's plenty of those right now. So that would be basically my takeaway. So I would invite any one of you council members, of course, the mayor, we're going to do something on this income tax thing, because I think we need to broadcast it out so that it's common sense to the people that are actually working and spending, making 100,000, 75,000, 60,000. Because it scares me. So that's all I have really, is I just want to make sure, just get that street machine working back and forth. You know what I mean? Inside, outside, last. That's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. I made it, it's fine.
Comments, questions for John?
I love the video idea.
Yeah, I do too.
That was good.
Thank
Say
you.
that again?
I love your video idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I worked when you were in council.
that's right. And I do it, like I do Small Business Friday because I want to promote small businesses. It's the lifeblood of our community. It's not the country, as well as the country. And people need things to do, so Friday's a good day to push stuff out. And I know I got the booklet, I got the online. I mean, you're doing a good job posting it, pushing it out there. But I honestly, the problem is with our society is perception is reality. And our job is to articulate it so it resonates with the people where they stand. Because most people don't go deep, they just look wide. They just don't have the time. So that would be what I would recommend. And I'd be more than happy to do it just to help out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a great community role
Well, I
model
care
for
about the
people.
community. I care about the community just like you guys do.
Thank
And
you.
if I get ouchy, I'll have to come back out of retirement. I don't want to. Just kidding.
Those are probably
Thank
good,
you.
John.
Okay, next up, we have Monica Richards.
Good evening. I don't have a prepared statement. I thought I was just gonna speak with my council
Could you
person.
give your name and address?
I'm sorry. Monica Richards. I'm at 765 7th Street Northwest. I'm at the northeast corner of 7th and Emerson. I had no idea that this is kind of maybe a widespread thing, but I was at a meeting a year ago to explain that I have water coming onto my yard from the storm drain being so backed up. Is the gutter what's at the curb, or is that what we're referring to as a gutter?
The
I think
cement
of
portion of
gutter-
the street.
I think of a gutter as what's on the top of my house.
Oh,
I thought at the curb was a storm drain, is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, a year ago, water was coming up. I had water coming in my basement. I had large puddles in my yard. I paid to have the pipes from the house, all four corners of the house, replaced to the tune of thousands of dollars. So that took care of the water coming into the house. However, I was told a year ago, I was introduced to the engineer. I was told the engineer would come out to the house and see what was going on. The street where I live on 7th is not entirely flat. It's a little slight hump as it goes over. When it rains, the water goes up and over the street to the storm drain on the other side, because mine is so backed up, and the water, like I said, comes onto my yard, comes onto my driveway, and then when it dries up, there's a huge amount of debris there, and it doesn't seem to matter how many times I clean that up, and it is not mowed grass debris. It is all manner of debris that is backed up. So there must be something going on underneath the road that I need to have something done there. That's all.
I remember we talked when you were putting the downspout or the pipes out to the
Yes.
street. And I remember I went and I looked at your storm drain right in front of your house. Admittedly, I have not looked at it since we've, talked. Can you see, does it appear to be clear? Does there appear to be?
Can I see what? I'm
obstruction?
sorry, I'm hard.
I'm sorry, the storm drain in front of your house, the grate, does it appear to be obstructed in any way, or?
I don't know. I mean, it's not obstructed on the street. Is that what you mean?
Right, well, I mean, like inside, like if you look down in the.
Well, I look down and I see all kinds of debris
Yeah.
in there. It's mostly looks like dried leaves, sticks, it's not mowed grass.
Yeah, well, this could be exactly what, Member and Dominic was talking about there's debris getting in there. But can we get somebody, out there to take a look at that, maybe tomorrow? Okay.
You said you met with our city engineer, Rob Graham.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
When did you say you met with the city engineer?
Jamie introduced me to that.
Yeah, that was
Last
last year.
year? What,
That
okay.
was last year.
If he came out or not, I don't know. I don't know if he came out, and if he did come out, I don't think anything was done.
Yeah.
Because it's not
Right.
anything different than what it was a year ago.
Hmm.
Except maybe the water's coming out there more because I had my pipes replaced.
Yeah. Okay. We'll talk
Yeah,
here in a
we'll
minute.
have somebody
and-
come out to look at that.
Yep.
Catherine, is the street sweeper machine available yet?
Yeah, it's been out.
So it's been running and
Yes.
going around?
Yeah.
I mean, do
It took care of
those
before.
underneath, do those get cleaned out ever?
Well, I mean, if there's a problem that gets cleaned out, to my understanding, isn't that kind of how it operates? So maybe we can go out and identify if there is some sort of an obstruction.
They can use the back truck.
Yep, we can suck it out.
It's preventative.
Yeah.
We have like a vacuum truck, it's called a vac truck, you can go down
Send it
there.
on out.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming and
Thank you.
sharing this.
Captain, how often do we send that vacuum truck out?
The vac truck is
Every
used
day.
every day. It's
Every
used
day.
for a lot of purposes, when they're doing any type of construction where they need anything,
Right.
sucked out. And, definitely whenever there's any kind of sewer issues where they're checking any clogs or anything in the main lines. Yeah.
Catherine, do you know how much of the city, it's been on the streets yet? Like, do we have 50%
Of how much it's swept.
already?
So when did I say it came back? What was that first date? Was that like last,
2 weeks ago.
was it a week ago,
Right
Friday?
after council,
Yeah.
then the machine
They,
was out.
they started in Maine and then I sent them over to Ford because Ford was really bad. I'd say probably about 75%
No?
has been
Okay.
done, yeah.
And it's up there just about every day.
Yeah.
So I would just scope the area and see.
I've done that, that Catherine knows.
It's not a quick process. People don't understand about, like, when we talk about we have to dump it,
Right.
in what they do to save time taking the truck completely out of service is they'll dump it at the service center and then they load all of that into a dump truck. And then that has to be driven down to Canton. And then we have to wait there. Well, first they have to call and see when they can get a time to even come. And then finally, when they get on the schedule to come, then they go down. It takes two guys, we don't have a lot of guys in the department, it'll take two guys out of service to drive down there. And then when they get down there, they wait. And then it has to be unloaded and put on the drying pad. And there's a whole process with it because we have to pay to have that done. So, and then they finally come back. So it's a big process.
We'll get somebody out there.
Yep, perfect. Thank
Scope
you.
it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ben, did you say you put in a work order for
Yeah.
it already?
Oh,
Okay,
thank you.
And I texted Rob, so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
let's see when
Okay,
there's
let's
anything
move
on
on
it.
to department reports. Mayor?
Yes, thank you. There's a few things I'd like to address, and as you know, naturally, every month seems to have something very special that occurs, certain awareness months and things like that. I'd like to start off tonight with a note about April is Emergency Communications Month. And each April, we take time to celebrate the people who support our communication systems. We rely on it every day and highlight the importance of emergency communications that are critical in our infrastructure, let alone for our communities, regardless of where you live. And today, I'd like to bring to our attention the National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. And that's observed the second week in April. I prepared a proclamation that I'd like to share with the Chief of Police and regarding National Public Safety Communications Week. And it goes as follows. Whereas situations that require the assistance of law enforcement, firefighters, and the emergency medical responders can occur at any time. And whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of law enforcement officers, firefighters, and paramedics is imperative to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas public safety telecommunicators connect those in need of assistance with the emergency service providers who will respond. And whereas the safety of our citizens, law enforcement officers, firefighters, and paramedics depends in part on the quality and accuracy of information obtained from the people who contact the North Canton Emergency Communications Center, or NORCOM. And whereas public safety telecommunicators are a lifeline for our first responders, and monitor their activities by radio to provide them with information that increases the effectiveness of the first responders and the safety of the citizens requesting assistance. And whereas each public safety telecommunicator acts with compassion, understanding, and professionalism in his or her duties, as the first contact many people have with emergency services. The way emergency calls are managed is a direct reflection of the entire department. And whereas the city of North Canton commends the dedicated public safety telecommunicators that make daily contributions to help keep our city and residents safe. Now, therefore, I, Stephen B. Wilder, Mayor of the City of North Canton, do hereby proclaim April 13 through 19, 2025, as Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in the City of North Canton, and encourage all citizens to show their appreciation for those in our community that are dedicated to protecting our safety. And in witness thereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of North Canton to be affixed to this 14th day of April, 2025, signed by me. And I want to reach out to those individuals who are our employees, who are there 24/7, that are answering the phones and directing our firefighters, paramedics, and police officers. First, we have Randy Fries, who's our public safety analyst. We have Anita Cardwell, who's our lead dispatcher. And I want to say thank you to all of them. Kathy Miller, dispatcher. Holly Webb, dispatcher. Aaron King, these are full-time dispatchers. Megan Sheffer, Ashley Snyder, and Holly Enos, our full-time staff. And we have 3 part-timers who fill in as needed. Stacy Petrie, Jacqueline Holmesy, and Joel Hammer. So I want to say thank you to those individuals who are there for us 24/7, who sometimes don't get the recognition that they really deserve. And so, Chief Kemp, I prepared the proclamation at the end of the meeting. I'd like to present it to you. And if you would be so kind to have it displayed in the communication center, I would appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. There's a few other things that I think that our community should be aware of. Again, this is also Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And for those individuals, we are very fortunate to have Compass Incorporated. And they are there for us 24/7 for any of our residents or visitors who feel that they are victims of sexual assault. And that campus or the Compass Rape Crisis Hotline, again, is 330-452-1111, 24/7 for any of your friends or family or people that are in need. This one is always close to my heart. Again, there's many events that occur monthly, but April is also dedicated to preventing cruelty towards animals. And I know a lot of us have pets, and we have friends and family and acquaintances that have pets. So again, starting on April 1st, it's a month-long campaign that was established for the American Society for Preservation of Cruelty to Animals. And that was in 2006. So just again, to bring that to your attention, and for those seeking help or reporting cruelty to animals, please do so. And for me, the military is always a special part of my life and for our family. Recognizing military families and students during the month of the military child, our North Canton City Schools are supporting a week-long recognition for supporting military-connected students' needs to their classrooms. And that started today. Every day they have a certain function. If you want to go to their website, like today was Purple Day for their support for the military families. Tuesday is Red, White, and Blue Day. Military Branch Day is Wednesday. Camouflage Day is Thursday. And Remember Everyone Deployed Day is Friday, the 18th. But that's no school there. So I don't know what they're going to do on that day. But, you know, that's pretty unique because we do have many of our family members who have loved ones that are serving in the military. April 14th, for those of our community who are in the Air Force, today is Air Force Reserve birthday. And President Harry Truman officially established the Air Force Reserve on April 14th, 1948. It evolved out of the U.S. Army Air Corps, which my late father-in-law, Al Harris, flew when he was in the Air Corps. He flew the Hump in Burma during World War II. Air Force reservists can trace their heritage all the way back to the National Defense Act of 1916. So thank you for 76 years of service to our country and for our country. And a little closer to home, we were very fortunate to have a wonderful event on Saturday. It was the North Canton Ultimate Easter Egg Experience that was held Saturday right over here at Price Park. And right here in the Civic Center, Carrie Schaefer and her team from Arrowhead Golf Event Center, they had the breakfast with the Easter Bunny and to get the day going. And it was very well attended. And I have to admit, the pancakes and sausage was very good, very tasty. But I want to also thank to our major sponsors, Meyer Super Center, for all their team did. Our North Canton Area Chamber of Commerce pitched in, and we can't thank enough our North Canton Public Library, who are steadfast in many things that we have, and for handling the check-in. Our North Canton Community Building, YMCA, I defeated several of our police officers in the wooden spoon egg chicane. So I took honors with that. Mission View Church was Air Force to support us. And who can forget the Laura Vandervaart team? They have a very unique experience for the kids that were there. And of course, our North Canton Parks Department. And for our city administration, again, Danielle Swinehart, Terry Gorski, Liamont, Julie Durashinsky, okay, and some of us from the administration that were there. And if I forgot anybody from our administration, I apologize. But we had it was really, I would say 500 to 600 kids were there probably. Wow. And we did throw in some parents and a coffee booth and the coffee wagon there. So weather cooperated. And again, it was a great experience. And I just want to thank everybody who participated in supporting that. And I think with that, President Stroya, I used all of Dominic Fonte's former councilman's minutes up, so I yield my floor to the next person. So thank you for indulging me, everybody. And thanks again, Steve Koch, for speaking today, and Ms. Richards for sharing your comments. We'll look into your issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Catherine, Director of Administration.
Well, I want to say thank you to these positive community members who've come and spoken today. Really appreciate that. And just to reiterate, Stephanie said, Pat, we'd love to share that, but you know, if we do open the door, it's every little group that wants to share whatever's going on, you know, we have a lot of them that we have people that call and when their bake sale or their community event, and we have to be careful, but you know, you can find other ways, you know, like you said, the other sites. Speaking of little groups and things, the little Daisy Girls, I thought you were going to mention just up at City Hall, we had a little group of Girl Scout Daisy Girls that come through and do their little government badge. They also were down at Price Park and did a cleanup down there. So, you know, those community groups are so important to us, and that sense of community of who we are and the things we do, like the egg hunt, huge turnout. Those are great. We've been talking about coming up now. May is just in 2 weeks. You know, it's going to be here. The first farmers market will be here at the Civic under the new management under Arrowhead. So they're trying to get that out. If you know anyone that wants to be a vendor, you can tell them to contact Carrie at Arrowhead. And then, of course, we'll support it as we did before. The hours changed a little bit, but it's still on Wednesday. So it'll be every May again here. Time will be 4 to 7. There's a sign out there. And Coming up also is May, we've been in touch with the Lions Club, and their president of the Lions Club has said, you know, hold on to your seats, people. The Memorial Day parade will be the best one ever. You know, so good. I'm glad. You know, we got some new Lions in there, and they're you know, working on that for us. So you know, that brings it that this week is a short week for us. We're off on Friday. It's Good Friday. The city offices will be closed. So just happy Easter to everybody this weekend. That's all I have.
All right, thank you, Ken. Mr. Benjamin, you.
The city's new work order inventory and asset management system went live beginning of the month. Allows me to now be able to put work orders in from my phone, so coming in handy. And then what I want to take a little bit more of your time on tonight is NOPEC, and I do have rates to announce for everyone. So before we get to my slide, I'm going to start with there is a transition period. So for the month of May, everybody's rate will be 8.14. You'll go back to AEP basically for 1 month. Then in June, the new aggregate starts up again. Okay? All right, so now we can go to my slide, Liam. So the new aggregate, part of the reason we went to NOPEC is to give residents choice. And so NOPEC has choices for our residents. So the standard NOPEC program that when you get your opt-out letter, you will be put into by default unless you pick a different option. It's this 6-month aggregate at 8.929. Now, when you get that opt-out letter, there will also be information about picking other options if you want to pick a different option. NOPEC has more than just these options listed here. There's lots of things with renewable energy and stuff like that, but I just focused on the 3 base rates to make it easy for everyone. So this is only a 6-month program because NOPEC is hoping that the energy market might change in the next 6 months and perhaps rates will get better. If you don't want to take that risk, if you just want to lock in a rate for the next 12 months, you can call them and at no fee, no opt-out fees, and pick to switch to a 12-month fixed term. 8.5 cents per kilowatt. If you really want to do all your budget planning for the next 2 years and never have to think about your rates going up, you can also pick a 24-month fixed rate, which is currently 9 cents per kilowatt. And so the intent is that our residents all have a choice about what works best for their budgeting. And so there is a little bit of inherent risk in all 3 of these rates, right? Because if you pick the 6-month rate, then in 6 months your rate will change. You don't have as much budget planning. But if you pick the 12-month rate and then in 6 months, the 6-month rate goes down, oh no, you spend a little extra money. You need to make the choice that is best for you and your household. And we will be more than happy to help whoever we need to on the phone. You're more than welcome to come into City Hall. We're working with NOPEC to set up like public forums that people can come in and ask, you know, questions about what rate option might be best for them. If council president will allow it, I believe the gentleman in the front row has a question for me.
Just a quick question. So when I get it, it's so confusing as you get older, you know, you get all this stuff in the mail, you don't know what to believe anymore. Should I just do nothing and then I default to the 8929 basically?
Yeah, if you do nothing, that's what you will default to.
If you do nothing, you default to.
But if I have a different service now, hypothetically, when this comes, I just default to that?
Correct.
Okay, and if the rate goes down 6 months, I get the lower rate?
Correct.
Yeah.
Goes up, I get the higher rate?
Yes, but you will, at that time, there will be another 12-month option that you will be able to opt into.
That's pretty good right there.
So we will get a lot of calls, we know that. Our front desk customer service administrative assistants will handle all the calls, all the walk-ins. So we were with, just to make it more confusing, you know, if people read, some people do read all of that. We were with Energy Harbor that became Dynergy. That's what you're on now. Then for, like you said, for the 1 month transition, you'll see then your provider carrier supplier will be AEP 1 month, then it'll be NOPEC.
So you'll get a letter from AP saying the old aggregate ended, you're now back on AP, and then you'll get a second letter from NOPEC saying you're
Now you're
being
with
picked up by the new aggregate.
So if that's any confusion where people are like, wait, I thought I was with this and then I went to AEP and now I'm going to this, that's why. So it'll be Dynergy, AEP, NOPEC.
So Gina just corrects my math, it's a 7-month rate on the first one, not a 6-month rate.
What did you say the AEP rate is now?
AEP, the 1 month.
For the month of May, the AEP rate will be 8.1, the monthly variable rate will be 8.1.
Are you asking what we are now?
Yeah, I am.
Much lower.
Yeah.
It's just the cost of.
1/4.
Which is the,
It's
but then again,
for-
to your
hold on.
point, it could go up next month, it could go down.
Oh, I guarantee you it'll go up from May to June.
Don't know why.
Well, yeah, true. Okay.
For context, our renewal quote from Dynegy was 9.4 something.
Right.
I wish I brought that sheet of paper with me.
So, and currently it's 4.34, right?
Our current aggregate is 4.34.
And all communities are facing this. Everyone's getting their letters. I mean, we have an individual in our office who works in Akron and got his and very high, higher than this. And again, they were also in a 4 something, so you're seeing 9s out there.
So during NOPEC's presentations, they stressed public education. Do we have any dates set for them to do any public education for the community? Because I think a big part of this is going to be learning how to cut costs, what they can do with their households to reduce the wattage, the hours.
So the first sort of public education things they're gonna do are this, what are these new rate options things? We have not set final dates for those yet. I was working with Danielle at our front desk to see, when is Dogwood available, when is Civic available.
But that's definitely where we're gonna do it. And they've talked to us about it and they might even have a little incentive to come, a little something, something, I won't say what, but there'll be some incentive to come. You'll get something if you come to the meeting. Shh, don't give it away. I made it sound.
As far as ongoing,
Something free.
They are planning to come and have a booth at Main Street Festival, I know.
They're
and
very
I'm sure they have already given us a media package for our Facebook or things throughout the spring about lowering your energy usage, so. I'm sure more events would be worthwhile.
If we can all share that as much as possible, because I think, it's gonna be nationwide, but people are gonna be in shock when they start running their air conditioners this summer and they see the price of their electricity. That's not gonna be fun for anyone's budget.
Ben, I'm not on a city aggregate right now. I'm on something from apples to apples, or does that.
Okay.
I will not get a letter.
So my understanding, not being an energy professional, is that because we are an opt-out aggregate, not an opt-in,
Okay.
you will get a letter that will say to you, if you want to keep your apples to apples
Right.
thing, you need to fill out this opt-out.
Even though my apples to apples is longer than what this is.
Correct. Is my understanding. Again, heavy caveat that I am not an energy professional.
Okay, thanks.
Let us know though, John.
Well, my wife can do that.
When I think of this in public education,
Mhm.
you have to do those programs. I know we're looking and we actually found something that was really good. So 12 months, you have to sign, but it's a really good rate. It's actually a decent amount lower than that. So do your homework. We're not forcing you to do this. It's an option. We're trying to make more affordable for city members, but we all have the ability
Make
to
a
do
good-
our own education.
Good point. There have been people that have come in before and have said, you can't make me do this.
Right,
And we often say, we're not.
right.
You can go to what John mentioned, apples to apples. It's
Right.
the Public Utility Commission, PUCO site.
But we still have to opt out of this, correct?
Correct.
If you want to go to something else, you have to actively opt out, yes.
And NOPEC is always a no fee to opt out at any time. So if
Yeah.
you get put into the standard program and you decide 2 months later, I wanna go find something for myself on Apples to Apples, you can do that with no cancellation cost.
Because I'm sure you read the fine print on yours. Yours could have a fee, the one that you're in. So we tell people that, you know, to look and see, because if you want to get out of it, yours may have an early termination fee.
Right. Okay.
All right, thank you. Directors of Finance. You're not allowed to mention tax either.
Well, guess what tomorrow is? The last time she can mention it, let her have it.
File your taxes, file your taxes, file your taxes. Federal, state, and city, don't forget city.
By midnight tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll do a little quarterly analytics.
Yeah.
So,
Excellent.
obviously, it's April, so we finished our first quarter, 25. So income tax is doing well for the city. We're up about 21% from this quarter to the first quarter of 2024. General fund cash balance is doing well. It's on average higher than it's been the last 3 years, which is great. Talk a little bit about some interest and whatnot. So we obviously are with Star, Ohio, and Meter, and then Huntington, we have a insured cash sweep of fund, which is in with our regular Huntington account, but it's just quick. It's a quick transfer between accounts, whatever. So that's getting 3.5%. Star, Ohio is getting about 4.5%, and then Meter is getting about 3.5%. We're projected in the next 12 months to bring in about $656,000, which last year at this time was $416,000 that we were projected to bring in. So it's definitely helping us do with Meter than we were currently. Our average duration of the portfolio is 2.2 years, which this time last year was 1.4 years. So what that means is we're locking in for longer terms, which means the rates that we're receiving on our investments is higher. We're locking them in for longer. So it's that, and then we'll do some utilities. We have an increase of 50 water customers from the first quarter of 24 to 25 into this quarter. Water utility sales is up 5%, which that is a rate increase, so we kind of expect 5% from the sales in the water. Auto pay customers, I love talking about this every quarter, end of each quarter. We've increased 440 individuals that pay their water auto pay, so that's great. So 14% from first quarter 24 to first quarter end of this year. And we have approximately 115 more people on paperless than we did, paperless billing than we did in 2024 in the first quarter. So that's what I got.
Perfect. Thank you.
President Troy, may I jump back in?
Certainly.
I reached out to our friends at NOPEC to answer John's question correctly. No, you will not be automatically opted in. Consumers who have chosen an alternative supplier and are still in a valid contract are eligible to join, but are not automatically included and must contact their local government or aggregator if interested. So, in your case, you will not be automatically opted in.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Finance. Liam.
I just wanted to take a second to congratulate our former spring 2024 intern, Izzy Rammel. She was selected by Walsh University as this year's Tower recipient, which is given to a student that exemplifies Walsh's core values. She was very active on campus and was a very dedicated member of our internship, so I am not surprised at all that she received that award. Ben and I could both attest as Walsh graduates that it is a very difficult award to
Walsh's
get.
highest student honor.
So she was a valued member of our team, and I just wanted to put on the record that we are very proud of her, and we believe that she will do great things in her future.
To council reports, Jamie.
I don't have anything too in-depth to share, just a lot of great information from residents coming and speaking and sharing this evening, hearing about cleaning up the gutters, in the streets and debris, you see debris upon the, storm drains in your neighborhood, please, pick them up, clean it out. Also was excited to see, I was unfortunately unable to come to the, Easter egg hunt this Saturday. Loved the pictures on Facebook, so that looked like just an absolutely wonderful event. And I was also excited to see the sign, which Catherine, you brought up, the sign for the farmer's market. So I'd be get farmers markets back here in North Canton and with better hours. So looking forward to that, and that's May 7th, I believe. So, okay. That's all I have to share. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jake. Ward 2, David.
So as chairperson of Personnel and Safety, I announced to the public that Tad Martinez was promoted to superintendent of a water treatment plant, and that was effective as of April 7th. Tad has dedicated over 20 years of service to the city, beginning his career in water distribution in 2002, before he transitioned to the water treatment plant in 2011. His commitment and dedication led him to obtaining his Class 3 operator license in 2014, and later was promoted to operations manager in 2023. Tad brings a wealth of knowledge, hands-on experience to this new leadership role. His deep understanding of our systems, his strong work ethic, and steady leadership makes him exceptionally well-suited to guide the water treatment plant in the future. That is my report. Congratulations to Tad. Congratulations.
Ward 3, Melissa.
No report?
Ward 4, John.
And I'd like to thank Dominic, Matt, Richard for coming in, speaking tonight. Catherine, great job on the streets. Still some streets like we talked about in the past that still need done, but I think with the weather, it's going to be breaking. I was talking to some of the residents in the ward about sewer is your responsibility. It hits them home because now I didn't think that was my responsibility. Why do we have this and well, it's already been there. We need to clean it. I told two landscapers, I think one pretty close to you, because Don and they're just blowing it out on the street. I said, you can't do that. What do you mean I can't? You can't do that. Sweep it out and be swift. Just have to get out there and talk to them. In the southwest, there are a lot of trees and stuff over by Arrowhead, and it's not in the greatest shape, and even across the street. Dominic, thank you for sending me those pictures and on it and doing the best we can. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
I enjoyed your voices. Other people.
What was
Your person.
No report.
Christina.
No report.
Thank you to everybody that spoke. Thank you for everybody that came to the crowd tonight. But thank you to Pat. Fly local, fly American, and that's all.
Princess George,
Yes.
I have one thing.
Yes.
As Liam mentioned, Walsh University commencement is May 3rd. And the city of North Canton is going to receive a distinguished recognition on that day. And were you able to send out the invitation to all our councilors? So if you plan on go, they still like you to register. If you plan on attending, either the morning ceremony or the afternoon ceremony.
Thank you. And to follow up, did you get a opening pitch for Walsh yet?
No. But April 27th is Little League opening day for the North Canton Little League, so I'm still waiting for the call up.
I want you to complete the trifecta there.
I'm waiting for the call up. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. All right, final call for new business. Seeing none, okay. I'm gonna make a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussion with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving this public body that was subject of pending court action as permitted by ORC 1.122G3. And we have a roll call vote to approve that.
Member Wire?
Okay, with seven first.
Second.
And then can we have a roll call?
Member Wire?
Yes.
Member Owens?
Yes.
Member McLeister?
Yes.
Member Stroya?
Yes.
Member Warren?
Yep.
Member Matheny?
Yes.
Member Orr?
Yes.
7 in favor, 0 opposed.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to enter into executive session for the purpose of discussion with an attorney for the public body concerning disputes involving, is this the same thing? Why am I reading this twice?
We are discussing two distinct topics, so we need two distinct motions.
Involving the public body that is subjects of pending court actions as permitted by ORC 12122G3.
Second.
And roll call vote?
Member Wire?
Yes.
Member Owens?
Yes.
Member McLeister?
Yes.
Member Stroya?
Yes.
Member Warren? Member Matheny?
Yes.
Member Orr?
Yes.
7 in favor, 0 opposed.
All right, at this time, council is in executive session. Let the record reflect, council will be joined by directors of administration, directors of finance, the director of law, the clerk of council, and the mayor. Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn executive session?
So moved.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record reflect that no action was taken. Okay. So on April 21st, we have no meeting. It's a holiday.
okay.
And on the 28th, we have committee of the whole and regular council. Gonna make a motion to adjourn.